Hi everyone. Goal number 12 is dealing with simplified variables with rational exponents. And when we're doing these, let's review really quickly a rule that we learned previously. When we have x to the fifth and we have x to the second on the bottom, remember the rule for division of powers means that we take and we do x to the 5 minus 2, which simply equals x to the third. Same thing holds true with the problem like this, where we have a smaller number on top and a bigger number on the bottom. We go x to the 7 minus 10, which means that we have x to the negative 3. And remember, a negative exponent means it gets moved down to the bottom, so we have 3 remaining on the bottom. Most of you guys are at the point where you do this just logically, and you say, well, there's 7 on top, 10 on the bottom, so I can get rid of 7, and I'm still going to have 3 left on the bottom. Same thing with this. I have 2 and 5, 2 smaller. If I get rid of 2 of them, I'm going to still have 3 remaining on the top. Well, what about in these problems? This is what we're dealing with at goal 12. How do I know which one's bigger and smaller? Some of you can look at fractions and know whether the fraction's bigger or smaller. But for simplicity, just stick with that pattern of doing the top minus the bottom and the top minus the bottom. So do the same thing for letter A here. We're going to take and we're going to do top minus the bottom. All right. And when we do this, we're going to have x to the 1/2 minus 1/3. And do the same thing right here. We're going to have y to the 3/5 minus 7/8. Okay? You can use your calculator or you can just do it by hand. But the first one, when we subtract it, we get x to the 1/6. For the second one, when we subtract it, we get negative y to the negative 11 over 40. Okay. Now, applying the two rules that we had up here, when we have a positive, it stays where it's at. When we had a negative, it gets moved down to the bottom. So the same holds true for this. We're going to take and have x to the 1/6. Because it's positive, it's going to stay where it is. But for the y, since it's negative, we're going to move it down and make it positive on the bottom. And that's your simplified answer. Okay. Take a look at the second one here. Same thing. Subtract top to bottom. Subtract top to bottom. We end up with x to the 3 over 2 minus 5 over 4. And y to the 1/8 minus 3/4. Simplifying this then, we end up with x to the, let's see, we get 1/4. And over here we have 1/8 minus 3 over 4. We end up with negative 5/8. So just like the previous problem there, when we simplify, because we have a negative and a positive, the positive will stay where it is, and the negative will get moved down to the bottom, and that is it. Hopefully this helps. Every problem is pretty simple and similar to this, but let me know if you have any further questions regarding it.